Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Thornhills Plays Minecraft, episode 71, with me and a leg fest. What just happened?
A leg fest?
Leg fest.
Oh, lag. It's like, what? Why do you have legs going on? What kind of game did you all of a sudden start
I
recording?
think it's all the fire I'm utilizing.
Oh, yeah, that's probably having a hampering effect.
That's not good. I like the fire.
Did you have any leg spikes when I was not on?
Probably less. The server would help. I think a lot with that. I'm just changing some settings, minimal particles and stuff. So we shall see how it goes. I think I just forgot my item. But anyways, welcome back everyone as we just ramble on. We just finished recording the other episode. So if you did comment on it, we're not ignoring comments. We
Sure.
just recording right away. Need a piece of iron. So what to talk about? Another thing that I had mentioned, I guess now 2 episodes ago, with the RPGing was the new RPG that we're looking at. Did you want to
Oh,
talk about that at all?
sure. I...
That hopefully we get tomorrow?
So, the RPG games that we play most of all have been... When we started, we played D&D 3.5. It was kind of a mashup of
Hybrid. It was,
3rd edition and 3.5, with a fair amount of weird, funky house rules.
yeah, that game is like King O House Rule.
Yeah, so it was kind of a weird mix
Oh,
of Dungeons and Dragons and kind of different styles of play.
we joined a group that had been playing together for like 12 years.
Yeah, so they were fairly well-established players, and they kind of knew how they liked the games to go and things like that. So they manipulated the rules to ensure that, they were having fun and things were going how they enjoyed them to go. Um, and then D&D 4th edition came out, and it didn't really mesh with that group style of gaming,
Or ours.
and it wasn't really something that called to us either. I know that we tried, we bought the red box of 4th edition, we
No,
tried
we
it.
got given the red box.
Did
We
we get
never we
given it?
never bought it. We got given it by our good friend at a game store who owns a game store.
Oh, right. And that's why it's important that you support your local game stores, because if you're good and you go there and you do events there and you talk to them and you go to board game nights and you have a ton of fun there, every
Just
once in a while they're awesome and they give you free stuff.
perks are awesome. Be friends with your game stores. They're nice guys. Get to
And
know them.
then you'll always have people to play games with, which is super important. Anyway, so back to real life and what people care about. Yeah, so when 4th edition came out, we weren't really happy with it. We decided we were going to stick with our 3.5 edition of Dungeons and Dragons. Um, but people around us were choosing to move to the Pathfinder adventure system, role-playing game system, which is a Paizo
Such a weird name.
version. It is kind of a weird name, but Paizo
I
is the
want to say
publisher.
Pazzo whenever I'm thinking about it.
Maybe it is Paizo. I don't know. Anyway, um, so they published that RPG system, and a lot of people were saying that it was kind of improved 3.5. They'd taken the 3rd edition rules and the 3.5 edition rules, streamlined them a little bit, improved them, and kind of expanded on them as well. And we took a look at it, and we actually decided that it was an improvement. And a big deciding factor for me was the fact that they had some really kick-ass adventure paths. And it wasn't something, like I know that Dungeons and Dragons for a long time had
They have the
Dragon Magazine.
Forgotten Realms was like the big one.
Yeah, Faerun and Forgotten Realms had lots of adventures, but they didn't really have, like, here is like an entire campaign. They had campaign settings, but not all the adventures to fit into the campaign, and not really, overlying story arcs that went from adventure to adventure to adventure. And I think that some of that content was in the editions of the Dragon magazine, but it's not something that I really got into. So I never really had a good source of where to get that type of content.
Was the Dragon magazine is it still in print?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so.
I think it's just something we never actually looked at getting.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a couple of, I've seen the magazines around. One of our friends had a subscription, and so he had quite a healthy quantity of Dragon magazines that he let me flip through when we were playing role-playing games together. But anyway, the point of that story was that when we were kind of looking at Pathfinder, and I was looking to switch up a game and start game mastering a different game, I found the adventure paths for Pathfinder online, because they're very easy to find, and they are pretty awesome. Like, they have just the right amount of depth and detail to kind of create that overarching storyline that, keeps your characters drawn in from one adventure to the next, and, kind of gets them invested, right?
Players.
Like, this is... Sorry, what?
You meant players there, I think.
What did I say?
Characters.
Characters or players, whatever. I mean, it gives your characters a reason to be there, right? And I really like that, and I like the fact that everything had kind of been pre-planned out, and so I didn't have to worry about, like, checking up what the DCs of the search roles needed to be, or, what's going on in the other side of the world while they're doing this stuff over here. It's pretty much all spelled out for you. And, I'm pretty busy and sometimes don't have a ton of time to put into world building when I'm doing my game mastering. And so having a resource like that where I don't feel like I'm cheating my players by giving them a pre-generated adventure.
Sorry, I just got punched off of a wall by a zombie jerk.
Awesome. Yeah, so I enjoyed those adventure paths very much, and that's kind of what sold us on the Pathfinder system, and that's what made us convert over from D&D then. And some of the issues that we're seeing now is that a lot of the players that we currently play games with are very, very much...
They're still stuck in their house rules.
They're still stuck in their house rules. Well, that particular group definitely. And they've played the characters enough that they know, like, if you're a particular class, this is what you have to have. You have to take this, because otherwise your character is just not as powerful as it should be or it could be. And things like, some things that kind of take me away from the creativity in the storyline were occurring. Lots of power gaming and min-maxing, and I find that 3rd edition and Pathfinder is really focused on combat and kind of the detail and minutia of combat, as opposed to, like, just how kick-ass and cool combat really ought to be. And so, I mean, I felt like, how do they call it? I felt like the combat rules and some of the, special maneuvers rules in Pathfinder and D&D became very crunchy. That's the word they use.
In Pathfinder and D&D.
yeah, both those systems kind of have this same reoccurring theme. Um, and I found that the prevalence of magic items from very early levels um, tended to mean that, once your character found or your group found the right combination of magic items,
Once they found
you
that dragon horde.
whatever the magic item was, right? And it's different every time, but there's one magic item that comes into their grasp, and all of a sudden they seem to be able to, solve so many problems, or it means that one character is practically invincible in this group of other people that actually have to, watch their backs, and so that one character becomes like the be all and end all of the group, and kind of makes it not as fun for the other players, or, it kind of, there were a couple aspects of those games that I was kind of not super 100% happy about.
Mm-hmm.
And so right now I'm planning to start a new game with a couple of newer players, people that we haven't played role-playing games with before. And
I think one of them hasn't played altogether.
I believe that one of them hasn't played altogether, and I have heard kind of the same um, concerns from another one of the players that we're thinking of starting a game with. The crunchiness of combat, and how, finding certain magic items can really unbalance the group and unbalance the game and make it not so fun for certain people.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I thought, okay, well, why don't we bring it back to basics, right? Like, is there not a system that's like old school role-playing games where you're not worried about counting out how many squares of movement you have, and, whether or not your combat modifier is going to allow you to grapple the guy or sunder his weapon, or, whatever. Get away from those crunchy rules and that really high magic um, scenario, and also reintroduce some of the really, I think, realistic things about adventuring that you had in second edition D&D. Things like character death. And I know that some people, they get really invested in their characters, and the idea of their character dying is like an awful, awful thing. And they really get angry if their character dies. It really upsets them. And I think that
Some DMs don't even like dealing with it, though, too, right?
some DMs don't like dealing with it. Sometimes it can take, people out of the storyline because they're having to rewrite characters, and then the group gets kind of disjointed and dysfunctional. So, I mean, I understand from that perspective, but for me, from how I like to play my characters,
Mm-hmm.
if you're an adventurer and you're running around, realistically, you would have the fear of God at every moment, because you know that, like, lurking in the shadows is going to be orcs and trolls and, crazy extraplanar beings that are ready to jump out at you and freeze, frost ray you, and gobble your head off, right? Like, they're looking to kill you. They're not looking to knock you unconscious. They're not looking to have this epic battle. They want to do what they have to do to get you dead as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And second edition did a pretty good job of, like, that guy has a crazy poisonous attack. If he bites you, you're dead. Game over. Find somebody else to take your place, because you sucked at being an adventurer. You didn't make that combat work, right?
You didn't figure out how to win.
But having that fear, right, of actual death means that you use your brain a lot more, and you try and find other solutions rather than just going in there, bows at the ready and swords
It's not
drawn.
just a tank and spank and hope to God that it's a hope to God that you're not gonna die.
Exactly. It's like, oh man, I hope diplomacy works, because if it doesn't, this could get really ugly.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that real sense of like, we got to make this work because it's just got to work. And I think that I think that there are some new systems that have kind of updated content as to monsters and things that we kind of connect with now. Like some of the monsters and the adventures that were um, published for second edition aren't really relevant now. Like we kind of are at a different place culturally in the world now. And so there are new role-playing game systems that use the same kind of functional rules and models
Mm-hmm.
to create that sort of player experience without it being super dated. And so that's the new system that I'm going to try, and we'll see how the other players, how they like it, and maybe it'll go great, and maybe it'll bomb horribly, but at the
At least
very
we're
least,
trying something.
as a game master or a dungeon master, I'll be able to kill some players. Yes.
She's really,
Oh man.
really excited about this, as you can tell.
You know what else I'm also really excited about?
Your lighthouse?
I have finally reached the top portion of my lighthouse, which means that now I need to find the materials for my bat signal because I am now at the part where I'm going to start the bat signal.
Woot. Well, I have put your obsidian that I collected after you died
In the storehouse?
in the storehouse.
Awesome.
Because you died last episode.
I did. Well, not last episode.
Or 2 episodes ago, I guess.
I think it's been a few episodes because you did a couple.
Oh, yeah. Since the last episode you were on, let's say.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so going to gather those materials.
Mm-hmm.
Let's jump down a little bit. Oh, I totally didn't put the timer on for this video. Man, I'm really bad about that, hey?
Do you know what time we started?
I believe it's about 10:30.
Okay, give me a second. I'll just look at my file size.
We are, if that's the case, we're at about 16 minutes. I would say 14 to 16 minutes.
We're at 23 gigs.
23 gigs.
Around 35. It could be. I changed settings, so
Changed.
that doesn't actually help us again.
Yeah, dude.
Because my fire, I think, is starting to lag me because I have so much in this stupid temple. It's not stupid. I'm saying stupid as in I hate fire in this quantity.
Well, you could just use torches.
Yeah, torches don't look as cool in a temple, in my opinion.
That's true. So, do you want to come and take a look at the lighthouse now that it's reached its pinnacle of masterfulness?
I can do that. I will pause the episode here and head out there and restart when I get out there, okay?
Okay, cool. See you soon.
Bye. And we're back. I ran across the little desert to her pyramid and turned up my settings so that I wasn't just not seeing it at all. So we'll see how this does. Oh, my settings are hating me today. I've been adding stuff everywhere, so the server, as in my computer, does not like to record and have this much stuff going on at once, it would appear.
Well, once we get in the same neck of the woods, then hopefully your computer will be happier.
We shall see. I'm going to look at Batman. Batman, you are in a giant straw, twisty straw. Someone's going to suck you up.
It's a Batman milkshake.
Ugh, it's a little bloody. So how many minutes did you say it takes you to climb this?
I can't remember how many minutes it took me.
So I guess I'm going to end the episode when we're at the top here. We'll see how it does.
You can see how teeny tiny it is at the top.
Are you going to miss all this when we get a server?
Am I gonna miss the lighthouse? I
Mm-hmm.
am gonna miss the lighthouse. I'm gonna see if I can find a way to port it into the new server. Um,
I can just put you in creative for a couple days and you can build it all.
oh gosh, no. I have actually figured out what I want to do
The world is starting to disappear down there.
as my mega monument in the new world.
Did I pass you?
Yeah, because I went to the storehouse to pick up the obsidian and glowstone.
Oh, okay,
You
okay.
walked right by me.
Um,
Yeah, that's right.
your
Are you
stairwell
building?
kind of ended.
I know. Are you building the stairs out of netherrack?
That's what I got on me.
Wow, that's gonna take a long time to dismantle.
No, it's not. It's netherrack. Netherrack is like the fastest thing to take apart in the world.
Really? Faster than sand with
Yeah,
a...
watch this. Watch this.
Okay.
Although that is efficiency 5.
Yeah. Uh,
Oh, I just had enough to get to the top.
you build your stairs a lot sketchier than I do.
Yeah, because I only had enough blocks to get to the top. You know, when you're up here and you look down on it, we have not built all that much stuff.
I know, it's pretty small
This is kind of sad.
in the grand scheme of things. So I'm like, if you're leaving this world, we just like barely made our mark.
It's not that big a mark.
Okay, here we are. The torches mark the front entrance. You can see Batman down there. Hi, Batman!
Man, he's anorexic, I think.
Yeah, he's pretty thin, hey?
Almost as thin as you.
And look, what? He's totally thinner than me.
Well, each block represents 3 feet, remember?
Well, in that case, he needs to
Shallow
lay off the, like,
the carrots.
what is it that Batman eats? I guess rich man food, Bruce Wayne, caviar, lobster.
The kind of food you like. You know, my roads look pretty cool from up here.
I don't like caviar, actually. And pate? Oh, yeah. Anything that involves liver is not my cup of tea. Your roads. You can see your roads?
Yeah?
Can you see your pyramid from there?
No.
Okay.
It's just like, I don't know what happened. It cut off.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're gonna cut the episode here. I will take another spiraling shot down into... Now that's kind of boring. I'll take a picture of this outside stuff for the world to see. Screenshot. There we go.
Awesome.
And it's a nighttime shot, so it'll be intriguing. Now I'll punch it in off of this thing.
Whoa, don't punch me. Hey, that's not fair.
Can I use my knockback sword on you?
No, you cannot use your knockback sword on me.
Anyways, I'll talk to y'all later. Oh, there is a creeper, and ooh, did he just fly to his death?
Good. That's where those creepers belong.
Oh, my computer locked up there for a second because it's like, I hate recording at this height.
Sorry, computer.
Fly, spider, fly. I love this sword. Oh, creeper, creeper, fly. Creeper, fly. They're hissing as they go by. I'm probably like dragging mobs down this thing. But I am actually going to go. I keep saying so, but bye.
Bye-bye!